Justin here, aka MyJdProductions. I'm just going to be doing some editing here. Just a quick introduction. I'm in the DFW area. I am a sports photographer primarily, but I do everything. Um, I have photographed everyone from NFL players to youth football league, quite a bit of sports, everything. Yeah, I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to, you know, kind of be a support. Um, Anyone that's looking to anyone that is looking to get into photography. Um, well, we can talk about anything from uh, editing styles to uh, gear, etc. If you'll give me a second, I'm going to go ahead and get my Instagram live up. Twitch is really the best place to view me, though, because you're going to see the high quality screen view here. So if y'all just give me a minute, I'm going to get up my Instagram live. Uh, Please follow on Instagram live, or Instagram in general, if you can. I do quite a bit of Instagram live, but I'm just now starting this Twitch thing. Hey, Instagram Live. I'm just welcoming you in. I'm also live on Twitch. Twitch is the place to view my lives, because you're gonna be able to get to see the screen of my computer in high definition. You're also gonna be able to get to see me, and kind of how I'm editing, etc., etc. But if you're following on Instagram, that's great too. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and give you some preface about some of the photos that I'm editing today. Um, this was a Paradise High School game. It was a homecoming game, and I've already gone through quite a bit of them, but you'll see the final half, and then I'll go right into the the next game that I shot, which is I don't know if I'm gonna have time for it, but that was Victory Christian. It's a private school in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. Um, if y'all have any questions about photography, any questions about gear, any questions, I don't know if I'll be able to answer the sports aspect of it, but if you have any questions about sports or how I've gotten to where I am, don't hesitate. Do not hesitate to ask me questions. I'm here for y'all. Hey Nikki, how are you doing? Um, haven't quite got to the Victory Christian game yet. I'm just finishing up um, the Paradise High School game. But those will be coming tonight. Probably I'll start editing them. All right, let's get started, guys. This was a really good game. Paradise actually won this game. You know, I started photographing this game for the first time in JPEG instead of RAW, and with noise reduction turned on onto high, and holy cow, it is a game changer. I will not like. I love shooting a raw um, during the daytime, just because it allows me a little bit more movement in the colors. But like with regards to night games, game changing. There's like almost absolutely zero noise. And I was at ISO 10,000, which is crazy. Crazy. If y'all are watching this at home later on after the stream, I appreciate it. Please subscribe, follow me on the social medias. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and now Twitch. Um, I'm really passionate about all things photography, and I just love doing what I do. And I want to share that passion with everyone. Hey, thank you for joining the chat. I'm just editing a game out in Paradise, Texas. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It was a homecoming game. But we're talking about all things photography. I know you do a different kind of photography, Rajan. Feel free to ask any questions. I wonder if anyone wants to go live with me. Let me see. No, I add people. Oh. Hey Leighton, how's it going? Haven't got quite to y'all's game yet. That is coming soon. But feel free to check out the Paradise game. Photos I take from the Paradise game. I'm editing them right now. I should be at y'all's next game. I think it's a big one, right? It's like senior night or some, I forget what it is. Hey Heather, how's it going? Thanks for joining the chat. Just doing a little bit of editing. And I love these the headshots that I do at the night games. They are awesome. I'm gonna actually write this one down. Image 1770. That might be going on Instagram. That one looks really cool. Same with this one. If y'all are watching this on Twitch, thank you so much. This is my I think my second stream. And back to editing. Whoa, why did it skip? So a lot of people want to know, how did I get started with um, with sports photography? That's a great story. I started photographing my son's football games, pee wee football. Just kind of as something that I was like, I want photos of my son. Um, I had been doing other photographies, and I was like, you know what? I want photos of my son. So I got some, and all the parents were raving about it. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this is something. Maybe this is my niche, you know? Um, I was not very good. I've never been really good at posing people. I'm getting better. But with sports, I don't have to pose people. I don't. I just capture what the hard part, which is them moving, them doing what the interesting thing. Um, and it's pretty tough. It's pretty difficult, but at the same time, um, super super beneficial. Oh, look at that shot. Sorry. Um, and then so what happened is one thing led to another, and I was selling the photos to those parents, and I was like, okay, cool. I if people are gonna buy them, then I can do this kind of work. I like it. It's fun. As a kid, I never got good photographs. Never got good photographs. My dad would always put up, nothing against my dad, he'd always put up a tripod to video the my matches. I was a wrestler in high school, and all of them would be crooked. All of them would be blurry. There was just no. I did not get anything really good out of them, and that's kind of where my passion has come from. Is um, you know, giving back to someone that giving those photos, those memories that they wouldn't otherwise have. And and so I started, reaching out on Facebook. Now I have a portfolio. Now I can actually do something um, professionally. And so I start. The very first thing I did was I got on Facebook, and I found I found ads for people joining teams. A lot of these sports teams, they they give out or they put out ads to get the kids to join the team or whatever. And so I reached out to this guy. He's a ex NFL player by the name of Jordan Pugh. Really good guy, and um, he gave me a shot. He says, "Okay, yeah, you got some really good photos here. Um, Let me give you some athletes to photograph." And I was still very very green. I really didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I did to an extent, but I had never really like dove into photographing football for professionally. This was really my first professional gig. Um, and I just picked up a little bit of things. I started, um, something as simple as just getting on Facebook and asking the questions. What do I do? What is my shutter speed supposed to be? What is my aperture supposed to be? What do I do in this dark situation? My camera freaks out when I go over ISO 800. And when I first started, I was on a $500 $600 Canon T6i, and I was like, yeah, this is tough. This is real tough stuff. And everything I had seen before this had pointed to gear does not matter. Gear does not matter. It doesn't matter. Boy, were they wrong. They were not sports photographers. Gear does really matter when you're in sports photography. I had to overcome low light with a high shutter speed. So I had to adapt. I had to, nobody told me, hey, Justin, you should overexpose by a half stop. You should, I had to learn this stuff on my own. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do with live is I'm trying to make it easier for the photographer that's just getting started to learn to be able to excel, and make it easier. There's plenty of pie to go around. This whole notion that got to protect the territory, gotta whatever, that I see with a lot of photographers, I think is dumb. I think that there's enough pie to go around, and there doesn't need to be all this talking down to people. We can always learn from someone else. I think that's another thing that's important. Is it doesn't always have to be, oh, I'm the best. Everyone can learn. I'm still learning stuff. Like, for instance, what I was just talking about a few minutes ago. I learned that shooting in JPEG, everyone's like raves and has a hoopla about shooting in RAW. RAW is amazing. It is great. It is phenomenal. I will still continue to shoot in RAW, but during day games. Night games, it's just so much better. So much better to use the noise reduction in camera. I learned that during this game that I'm actually editing. This is all shot at those on Twitch. You can see this better. You might not be able to see it on Instagram, but these are shot at ISO 10,000. Like, what? There is no pixelation at ISO 10,000. It is phenomenal, hands down. But yeah, so that's how I got started. I got some really good things coming up soon to look forward to. I am going to be starting, hopefully working with an Olympian, doing some video for them. They were in Athens, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. So as a sports photographer, one thing that drives me nuts is these refs. I absolutely feel like they're looking for you, and they get right in your way every single time. It's kind of funny, but yeah. So, some people at home are probably wondering, you know, how are you editing for the most part and not touching the the computer? Well, um, I'm using what's called a monogram console or monogram studio console. Um, it is amazing. It it helps me edit faster. When you're scrolling through 2,000 plus photos, um, it's crazy. I'll point it up to you can see it on Twitch. Um, this thing is awesome. When you're going through 2,000 plus photos, for sometimes even 5,000 when I shoot 7-on-7 football. Um, it's it's hard to get through that many photos quickly. This helps. Um, I've lowered my time for most photos down from probably about 15 to 30 seconds a pop, maybe even 20 seconds to like sometimes 2 to 5 seconds depending on the photo. And again with the ref. Wow, that's kind of a crazy photo. Got the photo of being tackled across the line between the legs of the ref. Wow. So that's kind of like a brief story about how I got started. Kind of what's my motivation here. I just want to say thank you to all my viewers. Y'all are awesome. Thank you to the people that are viewing this on Twitch as well. It's appreciated. Let me know how my sound is coming through. Um, and yeah. Hopefully the video is good on Twitch. Leave in the comments, even if you're viewing this later, um, if if you like the quality of the video. Eventually, I'll get a dedicated video camera. That's not my MacBook. Um, but you know, for the time being, Mac's not that bad as far as cameras go. So, oops, I was not exporting. There we go, export. So yeah, that's the other thing is you know, with this monogram console, I can copy settings, export as previous with one button each. It's a lifesaver. It really is. I can see this being very useful for. Oh, I could see this being very useful for wedding photographers as well. I just shot a wedding recently, and man, it's just as many photos. Um, and even more so, the lighting changes significantly in wedding photography, it seems like. Whereas with sports photography, it's not quite as bad, I think. I was a little behind on the in a bad location here. As you can see, once the play broke down, um, he was already past me. Now I'll go ahead and send them this, even though it's not the greatest. I like to really like to see their face. I think that seeing the face is very important. I love the sideline shots. Like, look how cool this is. With the people in the stands behind. I'm going to up the exposure and change the lower the contrast a little bit. Just doing that little bit makes all the difference. I'm going to actually save this one. I'm going to post this one, I think, to Instagram. This is 1830 file 1833. Okay. And next photo. Oh, another one. Another great one. You do the same thing. Up the exposure, lower the contrast. Let's see some of the people in the background a little bit. More exposure. Perfect. Love this. I'm going to actually change this to black and white by getting rid of the saturation and then upping the clarity to give that really pop. And that is 1834. Let me write that down as well. Learning to edit is a science, or I wouldn't say a science, but it's an art itself. Here's when I start breaking out the flash. This is halftime. I'm testing the flash because I know for a fact that they are getting ready to do the homecoming stuff going on. Now this is the other team. Other team's band. I'm not going to send the client this, but I'm still testing the flash. I'm trying to get a gauge because they're doing like the homecoming court where they're all going to walk out. And I'll send them this. Although it's not the greatest photo, but I think they'll still be happy to have that. I think I actually have some better ones of the whole group, but yeah. Actually, I'm gonna straighten that a little bit. I think it's really important. It's really important to get your line straight. That's one problem that I think that I struggled with in the beginning. Here's a better photo. This is a better photo. Is lines need to be straight because, if your lines aren't straight, it can throw off the whole photo. Now, most non-photographers aren't going to notice that, but it absolutely drives me crazy. Drives me nuts. But yeah. So I'm still getting the light ready. Holy brightness. I just want to see. This is JPEG. I want to see what I can do with it. Probably not much. Yeah, this ain't coming back. But if this was raw, it probably would. There we go. Getting the lighting a little bit better. This is part of the homecoming court. I'm gonna desaturize it a little bit. The skin tones are a little yellow. There we go. A little brightness. There we go. And I'm gonna zoom in. Oops. Too far. I'm gonna go manual on this. There we go. Pull it in. So that right there, when I ran the flash, I was able to get it down to ISO 4000. I am gonna start bringing a strobe to these games for stuff like this. When it's halftime, and they don't really care about strobes. They don't care. Now, the other photographers, they looked at me kind of weird. They were like, dude, what are you doing? Why'd you bring a strobe? But I knew this was happening. I knew that people are going to want clean photos for the homecoming court. And yep, here we go. I'm adjusting the brightness again. There we go. A little bit better. Let's see if everyone's looking at me. That's not a good shot. Okay, we're gonna go back to that one. I think that I can kind of save this one a little bit. Let me go ahead and lower the whites. And then we're gonna up the contrast. Perfect. Zoom in. I don't like it. We're skipping it. Hey, DC Photography, thank you for joining me. Go. There's a strobe photo here. Again, I only use the strobe, not during the game. So don't yell at me. But I think it's great. Like with this, ISO 1000. Like, no need. Look at that. That would have been ISO 10,000. Nope, not needed. That makes a huge difference. Huge. So I'm going to lower the contrast here a little bit. It'll lighten him up. So I can lower the exposure in her. Bam. Oh, I forgot to straighten. Don't forget to straighten your photos. You want them looking straight with the bleachers in the back. Look at that. Look at that. Let me go back to the other one and copy those settings. So then I can just apply them here. Bam. Beautiful. Beautiful. I actually like the fact that in this photo, it's got people, like the rest of the homecoming court in the background. I think that's kind of cool. That kind of just shows what's coming next. It kind of gives a precursor to that. So here we go. As they got closer, I did not change the setting of the strobe, but I knew that I could bring it down in post. These I kind of wish I did. I did photograph in RAW, but I digress. Because I didn't really need the noise reduction in these, because of the fact that I was using a strobe. Although in the blacks there would probably have been some noise had I not. I don't like that the fact that the light gave a huge glare on the kid's face. That one's much better. Straighten it with the bleachers. That's a great way to do that. Again, with the people in the background, kind of shows precursor. I'm also do this one in black and white. Perfect. Hey Team Chaos, how you doing? Thank you for joining the chat. We've been talking about how I've gotten started with with photography, editing techniques, that kind of thing. All things sports, really. Yeah. If you have any questions, you're curious about anything, feel free to let me know. So right here I'm dehazing. There's like a weird haze coming off of it. I'm going to lower the contrast, and that's really going to bring out everything right there. Perfect. I'm actually going to copy these settings because I feel as if the next photo I'm going to run into the same thing. I'm going to push this to black and white real quick. So I'm going to desaturate it and then up the clarity to about 7. Well, we'll go down to about 53 or so. There we go. Export unique. And we're going on to the next photo. Thank you, Aiden, for stepping by and checking it out. Here, like, this was like the perfect distance for the strobe, I think. Right where I was sitting at. Let me tell you, though, that AD600 Pro, that bad boy's heavy. when you're holding a camera in one hand and then you're holding a strobe in the other, like up towards your shoulder, that bad boy gets heavy. But you know what? I think this is a little pro tip. Bring a strobe to the game, because during halftime, it pays off. You know, when you don't have to shoot at ISO 10,000, it pays off for these photos. I knew that I was doing this homecoming stuff, this homecoming court stuff. Whoa, what happened there? What happened? That was really weird. It pays off a lot. Now she was a little, I don't know. That one's a little weird looking. We're going to skip that one. And then they were too bright here. So we're going to skip through these. Oops. Here we go. Perfect. Hey Andrew, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by, checking out what I'm doing. One of these days we need to like get on a live and do a live together. Oh, that one's blurry. We'll skip that one. Skip that one. There we go. Perfect. Look. Love this. Love the brightness. Don't know what's going on with the whole. I don't know what he was saying or doing or something. I don't know if he was talking to her or whatnot, but I'll go ahead and send that one to them. Lower the brightness here. That turned out to be a really good photo right there. It was definitely overexposed. I should have photographed these on raw. I was not thinking. I was just trying to get in position, honestly. I'm going to override that one. Oops. Let me get that undo. Copy that. So I'm actually going to crop in a little closer. I've noticed that cropping square sometimes is not horrible, because honestly, it seems like most people use their photos for Instagram, which loves a square photo, obviously. Such a great photo of them. Lower the exposure, pop out the contrast a little bit more, and actually I'm going to lower the exposure just a tad bit. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to lower the blacks, and that's going to bring out his hair, because he's got a little bit darker hair, and I want to so we can see it doesn't blend in with the background, and then I'm going to straighten it. I'm using this line at the very top of the bleachers to get my straightening there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I don't want his skin showing on his leg. He's wearing a black sock, and so it just looks like his leg's cut off. So we don't want to show that. I'm going to lower the exposure right there. I'm also going to copy these settings again because I like them. And then we're moving on to the next photo. Actually, I want to go back to that one, and I want to write down the image number, 1877. That one might be going on Instagram. That's a great photo. She's a really talented athlete, and so is he. He's definitely one of the star players in the game. I don't know if I think I could save this one, actually, surprisingly. The funny thing is they were freaking it, like, not freaking out on me, but the other photographers, there was someone there that was not using a flash. But I was like, you know what? Instead of photographing at ISO 10,000, I'm gonna use a flash. It just makes sense. That field was just enormously dark. Go black and white, so I'll lower the saturation, and then I'm going to up the clarity to give that pop. Please remember to follow me on Twitch and on Instagram. I'm going to be doing more of these lives. You know, let me know if you like them, and I'll do more of them. You know, I want to be there to help people. I want to, you know, kind of show how I got started and help people do the same. Yep, that's no saving that one. Hey, thank you for joining the chat. Appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I'm using a monogram console to edit. These are super overbrighted. Hello, Logan. How are you doing? I'm editing some photos from a football game. I'm using what's called a I'm using what's called a monogram console. You can see right here. It is amazing. It helps me edit faster. It's just all around very helpful tool. It started out as a Kickstarter a while back, and I didn't know that it was a Kickstarter at one point. When I found it, it was past that stage. But it started out as Palette. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Palette. But it's really cool because you can set it up however you want to set it up, in any configuration that you want. You can have it do everything from video to photo to whatever. If you're watching on Twitch, this is what it looks like. It's pretty awesome. Oops. It will come apart on you. But yeah. So I think at 4:30 I am gonna be done streaming. Yeah, I appreciate everyone coming by and you know, editing and interacting with me. It really does mean a lot. It's great to see other photographers out there photographing and everything, and you know, living the dream, right? I'm gonna overwrite that one. This was the winner of the homecoming court, I believe. So that one is 1893. 1893. Okay. So, as I said, it's now 4:30.